Ed, who's stronger in Mexico? Military, police, or cartel? Who has more power?
The military is behind all power in Mexico. That's my belief. As far as political power, as far as the military industrial complex, and as far as the weaponry and who gets to have weapons and what police forces get armed and what police forces don't. The military is a pretty powerful, it's a pretty powerful entity in Mexico.
Bigger more than cartel.
I'd say they're in depending on what you mean as far as power. You mean control all over the region of of Mexico?
I guess the part is does the cartel? Most movies when you watch them, you see cops are bad cops. You don't see bad soldiers. You see more bad cops than you see bad soldiers. When you watch them, is there where the cartel and El Chapo type of a person there, Rafa Quintero can call and say, hey, tell your people to kind of calm down and get out of here because they're making my life hard, or else ... Is there any relationship like that with cops and military?
I mean, we just had the release of General Cienfuegos, who was a high-level operator of the past administration in Mexico under Enrique Peña Nieto, and he was basically accused and recorded talking to cartel members about operations in central Mexico. Beltran Leyva, which was a offshoot of Sinaloa cartel that became a very deep rival of El Chapo. So the military has many cases of corruption, and you could see a shift in confidence as far as U.S. and Mexico military ties. During the Felipe Calderon administration, they started shifting kind of all tip of the spear operations over to the Mexican Marines. The Mexican Marines were the ones that show up in the video in the El Chapo raid. Basically, they shifted over all kind of efforts towards them because they saw the Mexican military as compromised. Several instances have happened since then, starting with the Zetas debacle, basically a whole Mexican special forces unit going off and working for a cartel. So you saw a shift with that, but now you've also seen high-level arrest of Marina members protecting Sinaloa cartel guys, or 2 units of fully uniformed Mexican Marines taking part in abduction for ransom schemes. So realistic, I mean, it's only a matter of time when need kind of gets into some of these groups and forces people to work for one side or the other. That's the thing that people need to realize. Mexico doesn't have a single cartel; it has many. The New Generation cartel, one of the biggest and biggest growing cartels out there. Sinaloa cartel, which are rivals of them, and each of these cartels will pay for interest or pay for participation in what they do to different groups. So you can go into a town where the state police works for one cartel, the municipal police works for the other, the army works for another, and the Marines work for another, and the National Guard will work for another. So
does anybody not work for somebody, which is like the most hated? Is there anybody?
So I mean, it's
least compromised.
It's an interesting question, but it brings me back to the whole, you could be the cleanest guy out there. You can be working with a group of people that are completely verified, vetted, backgrounds checked, and you will have somebody above you in a directorial type position who does not go through all that process. So at its core, I think there's something wrong with the political class, and there's something wrong with putting forth such instruments of to try to filter out bad people in environments like that, and not have the people above you kind of be pushed to the same standards, basically.
What's the cleanest one where the people at the top are kind of like the Julian who ran for mayor? Who is the cleanest, most feared, uncompromisable guy at the top that annoys the hell out of the cartel?
Right now, there's no such figure. Right now, there's no such figure in my mind. For a time, it was Lieutenant Colonel Lizaola. There's a reason why he was to assassinate so many times, right? And there's a reason why certain political class doesn't want him to see in control of the richest drug route on the planet, which is Tijuana. Um, it's a sad thing for me to say as somebody from Mexico.